Alright, let's watch it. They're blaming racists for failure of Marvel's cringe Ironheart series. Or maybe, just maybe, it's just not that good. I know, mind-blowing moment. It's not because she's black, or she's female, or whatever. It's because it's just badly written. Fuck. Dang it.
Hey, what's up, guys? Up here. Boom. So the moment you've all been waiting for is finally here. Marvel's Ironheart has released its first 3 episodes of the 6-episode series. And yes, this has been an absolute nightmare for Disney and Marvel. They've been hoping that you would have forgotten about this project they announced a few years ago, but eventually they had to produce something, and here it is.
Yeah.
And after a long series of disastrous trailers and also casting decisions...
The only reason I saw trailers of this is because people commenting on how bad it is.
Well, it panned out into the series itself. The first 3 episodes are insufferable, and the reviews are very bad. Now, of course, whenever this happens to a show like Ironheart, there's always journalists and social media users ready to run defense and make excuses for this slop, and it's happening once again, because a lot of journalists are now coming out and saying, if you dislike this series, you're a racist. Yeah.
What if it was just badly written, and it wasn't a black woman? What would you do then?
Yes, they are blaming racism for all the problems and negative reviews facing the show, because of course they would do that. That's how these journalists work. Now let's look at some of the scores so far. So this one comes from Metacritic, sitting at a 2.4.
Ooh, Metacritic and Metascore. Ooh, they are just extra racist. Chat, we gotta cancel them.
Among users. Then you look at IMDb, and it's not doing much better with a 3.7 out of 10 rating.
All the critics at IMDb, all 18,000 people are racist.
And this is the really controversial one. Rotten Tomatoes, you can see right now, a 59%, 74%.
I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes.
And it was temporarily disabled. They turned off the reviews temporarily, and ever since then, the reviews have been spiking up and down. It's been a real mess. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter too.
They're deleting the Russian bots, clearly. A bunch of Russian bots are, ruining the reviews.
Much, because
Rotten Tomatoes are Disney-owned? Wait, so this is a Disney movie, and they're yeah. Show is Rotten Tomatoes owned by Disney. Disney's paying Rotten Tomatoes to freeze audience score. Ooh, owned by Fandango, which is a joint venture company of NBC Universal, which is owned by Warner Brothers Discovery. Warner Brothers holds a minority stake in the merged entities. So they've been known to pay for stuff, but it's not owned by Disney. Okay, fact-checking.
It's bad.
Fact-checking.
Okay, even right now with a little higher score than it initially had, it's still the 3rd worst rated Marvel series.
Ooh, that's not good.
And it beat out Secret, Invasion, and Echo. I mean, that's not hard.
I don't even know what those are. I'm not trying to be Thanos and be like, I don't even know who you are. What are those? What?
To do. And on top of that, some journalists have actually had the balls to go out there and give this the rating it deserves. IGN stung the world with this 5 rating that they describe as mediocre. Now, I want to take 2 minutes and just talk about everything wrong with this series, at least through the first 3 episodes. And it begins with the fact this is a...
You gotta watch out. Marvel's gonna fucking copyright strike you for this shit, I bet.
...relic of its time. It was produced during the heights of wokeism in the entertainment industry, and it shows.
I'm woke.
Okay, the virtue signaling, the identity politics, it's about as subtle as a punch in the face. And all of that is culminated with its main character, Riri Williams, who ironically starts off the show working on her suit thanks to a Stark grant. Tony Stark, of course, being someone that she constantly disses throughout the series, at one point implying she's smarter than him, at another point implying he...
But even objectively, you're younger than him. How are you smarter? I'm not even talking about the dynamic of putting men down. It's like, he's been doing this for way longer than you have, but okay. This reminds me of the whole I'm better than Anakin and shit from Star Wars.
Only made his suit because he was a billionaire, ignoring, of course, the fact that he built his first suit in a cave yep. with spare parts under the watch of armed terrorists, but whatever. So she continues her work at MIT, where she believes her massive grant is still not enough money. So she wants to start getting some other sources, so she starts helping students cheat on their work for cash.
I would not have written that. I would not have written that.
She is warned for this by...
That is not a good look.
...the school, and eventually the last straw is when she causes massive damage to the lab she's working in. She's expelled, and like a disgruntled worker who just got fired, now goes and steals all the office supplies on his way out the door. She stole the suit as she was expelled.
Yes! Girl boss queen 5, by the way. Mediocre. That's crazy work.
Again, it's through grants. It's not her suit.
I just
it's
can't get
the
over
school
this.
Suit. And eventually, after she leaves, the suit needs repairs. And what she do to fix this problem? Steal some more. And that's when...
I couldn't write more fucking stupid girl boss borderline racist shit.
She's approached by a criminal gang led by Parker Robin, aka the Hood, and in his first couple sentences he says, "We extort and rob people for money." And Riri Williams is like, yeah, that sounds like something a hero would do. I'm in. And
again, Iron Man is... Tony Stark is a morally ambiguous character. Let's not get it twisted, but like, this seems a little bit strong. Tony Stank, yeah.
And they go around, and basically the lesson is it's okay to steal and hurt people as long as you're getting something you want, and it's coming from a billionaire. Or in some cases, to do that, you have to like kick the crap out of security guards who are just doing their job. But
yeah, let's not think about the trickle-down effect of when you steal a bunch of shit from a corporate company and how a bunch of people lose their jobs because they're... I mean, I'm not even gonna get into it. It's just so cringe. I hate this, like, oh, we're not, like, really alluding to, like, real life, but we're gonna do that anyway and sprinkle it into this TV show.
Doesn't matter. They're going after something they want. And then she meets the son of Obadiah Stane, who is trying to not follow in his father's footsteps by becoming a black market arms dealer who immediately gives Riri all the parts she needs without question.
Yes!
Very strange. And then really the last like half of the first 3 episodes is just like trying to develop this moral quandary where the AI she produced, which came out as an AI version of her deceased friend Natalie, is like...
Chat, what have we talked about? Using dead people's, like, voices and shit as AI? Have I not said that's really weird? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Chat, if I die, please don't try and resurrect me through AI. I'll be very, very upset with you. Even though I'm dead.
They're like, wait a second, Riri, maybe this isn't a good idea. And Riri starts becoming very suspicious of the criminal gang she's been working with and stealing from people with. That's pretty much the plot. Are you interested in this? Does this sound good to you? No, it doesn't. It's a steaming pile of crap. It has nothing to do with racism or anything like that. It's just not a very good show. But the journalists are running defense hard and discussing film here, saying, despite what online trolls want you to believe, Ironheart is
This is the exact same shit that Veilguard and... Oh, God, what was that other stupid indie game? Fartborn? Yeah, Dustborn. They said that all the online trolls... Vowed... What's that show with all the chicks in Star Wars where they like retcon all the really cool shit? Yeah, Concord also had a bunch of trolls. Yeah, it was them damn trolls. Yeah, Acolyte. Nobody liked Acolyte, and it was all because they hate men. Valve is fine, y'all just hate us. I mean, you're allowed to enjoy shitty games. You play DBD, I'm not gonna hold you.
The better MCU shows in recent years. That's like saying it's the least smelliest trash. Like, all the shows for the MCU have been really bad recently. Like, what is that supposed to tell me? But Redditors are on the case. They're defending this hard.
Reddit, the place where a woman quite literally offed herself because of what people were saying about her. I'm not gonna forget the Fox Sanctuary girl offing herself because of harassment on Reddit. Reddit is such a cesspool of shit.
Sharing this article titled "Ironheart Review Bombing Proves Some Comic Book Fans Still Can't Handle Women of Color in a Spotlight."
Lest we forget that Storm and various other characters of both sides of Marvel and the fucking MCU, like, what are we talking about? There's so many women of color that exist in comic books from fucking the 60s and 80s and 90s, which are arguably still fucking pretty racist compared to now. Like, what?
This has 7,000 likes, by the way. Absolutely insane. And this is the article itself, where it says Marvel's Ironheart hadn't even premiered and was already under fire, not from critics or audiences with genuine concerns, but from a brigade of online trolls. A coordinated review bombing campaign.
Of course, naturally.
Because it's a project led by a woman of color.
I wish I could do this. If I ever get criticized and, like, review bombed on a video and I get a bunch of dislikes, I'm gonna pull this card and say that everyone that disliked bombed my shit was just a hater of women. I'm not gonna let the criticism, if I say some dumb shit, I'm gonna pull this card at the end of the day. Yeah, criticism. No, you just hate women.
And then you have Yahoo News here, which I can't even believe, like, they're still around. It's kind of impressive.
Happened to me, by the way,
They say MAGA trolls are attacking Disney's Ironheart, but here's how Black...
Oh my God. Black Internet. Yo, I bet you I have people who are black in my chat who have never heard of this shit. Chat? What the fuck is Black Internet? Dude, what?
Black Internet is fighting back. Black Internet. Well, how are they fighting back, you ask? Well, I've seen some examples on social media. So
Wakanda is fighting. Chatter says Wakanda's fighting back. Oh my God, dude.
We have this post right here.
I couldn't come up with that.
With a famous quote from Marvel where Tony Stark says, if you're nothing without the suit, you don't deserve the suit. Which is
true. Actually true. You can say that same about VTubers too. If you take away the VTuber model and you still don't like that person, you don't deserve that VTuber model. Yep.
It's basically an apt description of everything that Ironheart is about, right? But this person says these white boys are becoming more insufferable with their bad takes about a TV show their goofy ass could just ignore.
But it's to the public, like... posting to the public, people don't have to criticize it. Like, it's just like everybody's allowed to watch it.
I mean, you could also just ignore these comments, but the person who made the original post would respond saying, "I'm black," and then that person would say, "How would I know that when you're speaking like a self-hating bot?"
So you have to say things in a certain way to be perceived as black on the Black Internet? Isn't that kind of fucking racist as fuck? Wait, you have to, like, type in Ebonics? Or, like, I don't know, have a black man profile picture? I don't know what to say. I I think we just found the IRL Uncle Ruckus. Yeah, I guess so.
You ain't black to me until proven otherwise.
So racist.
The anti-racist strike again, saying the most racist things
Impossible
you've ever heard.
challenge.
So I guess this is the racism maybe these journalists are hinting at. I'm seeing it right here. But there'd be another article from Yahoo News here.
Yahoo!
Racist fandoms target Marvel's Ironheart series with bad reviews. Yep. It's all the review
Why is it Yahoo, man? I thought Yahoo was dead.
bombing. Here's another one. Ironheart fulfills low expectations with a weak narrative, poorly written characters, and dull action. It will also arouse the ire of trolls who target
That's a good
Disney's
word.
diversity efforts.
Jorkin.
Oh man, wouldn't want to mess with their diversity efforts over at Disney. They're pretty much
You don't sound... I feel like I can't say this out loud. You sound hood enough, young thugger. Oh my goodness. You have to sound a certain way and back them, otherwise you're not black enough. You hear that shit? I've never once said that about anyone in my life. Like, you're just a person to me.
ripping their company apart. But anyways, this is probably the best article from MovieWeb. They actually changed the title. If you hover over, you can't see it on your end, but if I hover over the tab, it says the original title, which is "The Ironheart Hate is Just Racist," and they got clowned on for that, so they changed it to "Let's call the Ironheart Hate what it really is," basically ... And don't worry, later in the article they do clarify what it's all about, and you guessed it, it's racism. This is such a bad article, it's not even loading. But anyways, here's what they said, okay? What could be their reason for doing all this stuff? These trolls, they often use phrases like woke as a criticism, which has no meaning except a blanket term to cover up racist and sexist beliefs.
Oh, it's like when you guys call me a Nazi. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't actually mean anything because you don't understand. I agree. I think the term woke can be overused, and it is overused. But so is the term Nazi. Just because you disagree with someone.
Multiple comment sections on social media for the Ironheart-related post needed to be shut down due to a flood of racist, sexist, and outright hostile comments. That doesn't seem like a reasonable response to a Disney Plus MCU series. Let's make something clear. There is no controversy around Ironheart because saying so legitimizes a clear-cut targeted attack against the series. Fair criticism is understandable, but there is one word behind the review bombing Ironheart saw: racism. There it is. There's only one explanation for everything happening. Every bad review. You
disagree with me? You're a racist.
It's just racism. Man, they are really running defense hard for this series. They're going to try to convince you that this series is a...
I've yet to see, like, any... You know what I want to see is, like, an actual review made by a person on IMDb or, I don't know, what is it called? Rotten Tomatoes. And, like, see someone, like, rip a slur and be like, this movie sucks because of blah, 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 blah. Like, what could be racist about them disliking a movie and saying a character's ass?
Massive success. The reviews are just the result of MAGA trolls who are trying to mislead you about this show. You know, it's funny, like, when I describe this series, there is absolutely nothing to do with the race of Riri. It doesn't matter. It's not important. The virtue...
If there was a white chick and she was doing that shit and being fucking cringe, I would still criticize it the same way.
Signaling can be overcome.
And I have done that before with the Star Wars movies. With the Mary Sue insert. She's white. I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
With a good plot, which it doesn't have. It has a convoluted plot that makes absolutely no sense for an MCU series. And it's just laughably bad. And people don't like it. They're not responding well to it. And now what? In the same place here, MovieWeb, they would also go back on Twitter, re-promote their article again with this quick little line here saying, "Will the review bombing ever end?" Well, the quote-unquote review bombing is going to continue because the show isn't good and people aren't responding well to it. It should be very obvious this was going to happen. And again, can we stop using the phrase review bombing so much? It's such a lame excuse for a show just not performing well with audiences and critics alike. And this is a really rough image for Disney right now.
Ooh. Wait, they're doing a live action Frozen? I hate that so much. Like, I couldn't stand... Oh, yeah, Captain America bombed, too. Snow White. I don't know about this one, but I imagine it's gonna do well. How can you shit up Frozen? It was such an easy farm for a movie.
Disney Plus, with their top 10 trending in the US today, number 1 is Ironheart, which is not doing well. Number 2 is Snow White, the live action that absolutely flopped. And number 4 is Captain America Brave New World.
That sucks.
These 3 are all massive financial failures for Disney, and there's really nothing else to say about it. This is the absolute state of Marvel and Disney right now. They are really struggling, and with the Fantastic Four coming up, that's pretty much it for this year. That's their last major film.
It's over.
And for their sake, let's hope it's good, because they've already had massive failure after massive failure this year, at least financially. You can say you like some of these projects, but financially speaking, they're not doing well. And if you want these series to keep coming out, well, you better start hoping they do well, because they can't keep doing this. This is not a good business strategy. This has to fail at some point for Disney and Marvel.
No, they won't, because Lion King... Again, Lion King was a horrible live-action movie, and it still made so much money for them, because everybody still wants to watch Lion King. Again, they can have, like... They can have 5 slops like this, and release one Lion King remake live-action film, and it'll make up for all of these losses.
And it just continues on with Ironheart. Doesn't look good right now. Yeah. And the final 3 episodes will be coming out, I believe, on July 1st. So we'll see how that goes. We'll try it out. And if there's anything interesting that happens between now and then, we'll revisit this series. But for now, it's not going too hot for Disney.
Shit in the bed.
Marvel. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
I think it's so disingenuous and derogatory for a character like Ironheart to basically take a big fat dump all over Tony Stark, and then anybody who criticizes it is labeled racist. It's so sad. Why can't you just, like, take the criticism and be like, yes, maybe she's just a bitch. Iron Shard. Tony Stark sucks. I'm so much better than him. He's the original Iron Fart dude, and I'm so much better than him.